Welcome class 8 in our e-learning class. Today we will proceed with the next part of the chapter, understanding marginalization. So come to page number 84. Adivashis and stereotyping. In India, we usually showcase Adivashi communities in particular ways. Thus, during school functions or other official events or in books and movies, Adivashis are invariably portrayed in very stereotypical ways, in colorful costumes, headgear, and through their dancing. Stereotype, we know, stereotype means when some sort of belief, it is deep rooted in our mind, which is inculcated in our mind, and we cannot just think something or anything out of that context, out of that belief. So whenever Adivashis they are portrayed in any books or any movies or any school functions, there we can find them in colorful costumes, headgear, and through their dancing. Besides this, we seem to know very little about the realities of their lives. Yes, this is true. Other than the way they dress themselves or the way they perform their rituals or the way they dance, we really don't know what exactly their lifestyle is, how they live, where they live, and what sort of culture they are having. So, this often wrongly leads to people believing that they are exotic, primitive, and backward. Often, Adivashis are blamed for their lack of advancement as they are believed to be resistant to change or new ideas. So, you can also find that it is sometimes we find that Adivashis, we blame them that they does not like the advancement, they does not want to cope up with the modern theories, with the modern technologies, with the modern way of living, and because we believe that they are quite resistant to change, or they don't want to get involved into new ideas. You will remember that you read in class 6 book how stereotyping particular communities can lead to people discriminating against such groups. So just wait. Okay, so children, we have seen, sorry, let me take it properly. So this is some sort of belief that we are having, and here we already know that the meaning of exotic, this often wrongly leads to people believing that they are exotic. Here exotic, if actual meaning of exotic is foreign, but here we want to mean that they are unusual, strange. We just try to think that these Adivashis, they are strange, they are unusual, they are primitive and backward. Okay. Adivashis and development. As you have already read in your history textbook, forests are absolutely crucial to the development of all empires and settled civilizations in India. Metal ores like iron and copper and gold and silver, coal and diamonds, invaluable timber, most medicinal herbs and animal products like wax, lac, honey, and animals themselves like elephants, the mainstay of imperial armies, all came from the forests. In addition, the continuation of life depended heavily on forests that help recharge many of India's rivers and, as in becoming clearer now, crucial to the availability and quality of our air and water. So we all know about this forest, that forest, how important it is for us, how important it is for our for our luxury, how much forest is important. Forests covered major century, and the Adivashis to access, meaning reach to knowledge of, as well as control over most of these vast tracts, at least till the middle of the 19th century, Why not? They live not like it was actually even which type of animals can inhabit in certain or in particular area of a forest. That means deep knowledge regarding the forest and its contents was there in these among these Adivashis. This meant that they were not ruled by large states and empires. Instead of an empires heavily depended on Adivashis for the crucial access to forest resources. Because the kings they are living in palaces, how they will come to know that the forest, if it is within his empire, that what sort of material, what sort of good can be just that means the king can get from the forest, or where lies the most dangerous part of the forest, what type of beneficial things, medicinal plants can be just brought from the forest. This knowledge the king didn't have. Even it was not possible for the king who lived in palaces to just enter inside the forest all of a sudden on himself. Rather, he required the help of not only his soldiers but the help of the Adivashis, because they, as I have already said, they used to know the edges, the corners, the importance, the dangerous, the danger and the most important parts of the forest. Okay, this is radically contrary to our image of Adivashis today as somewhat marginal, powerless communities. In the pre-colonial world, they were traditionally ranged hunter, gatherers, and nomads, and lived by shifting agriculture and also cultivating in one place. Although these remain for the past 200 years, Adivashis have been increasingly forced through economic changes, forest policies, and political force applied by the state and private industry to migrate to leaves as to migrate to leaves lives, it will be lives as workers in plantations, at construction sites, in industries, and as domestic workers. For the first time in history, they do not control or have much direct access to the forest territories. So this is everything had happened because we want to change their life. How? Because the forest or the forest life, slowly it is getting vanished, because the trees are just cut down from there, and the forest area, it is just being cleared for building any sort of market complex, or for any sort of township, or for any sort of industrial setup. So in this way, these people also, they are losing their identity, they are losing the original lives of theirs. Instead, what it is becoming, that now they are just forced to migrate to lives as workers in plantations, at construction sites, in industries, and as domestic workers. So in this way their life is changing. So just give a tick mark up to this portion, and in our next class we will proceed with the next part of the chapter. Till then, stay happy, stay blessed, and read properly. Bye all of you.